Good morning, children, and I hope you all are in good health at your home and also are studying through these videos and notes provided to you. So, we will now continue this chapter 4, heat. And in today's video, we will study about the transfer of heat. So, children, transfer of heat, as I have already given you the definition in notes, that the transfer of heat from one body to another body or from one part of the body to the other part of the body is called transfer of heat. Okay, the transfer of heat is regarded as the supply of heat or the transfer of heat from one part of the body to the other part of the body or from one body to another body. As you already know that heat is always transferring from the higher temperature of the body to the lower temperature of the body, or we can also say that heat is always transferred from hotter body to the colder body. And there are three modes of transferring of heat. There are three modes of transferring of heat, that are the three modes of transferring of heat are: first, conduction; second, convection; and third is radiation. So by these three ways, by these three methods, heat can be transferred from hotter body to colder body. But in today's class, we will only study about the conduction. Okay. So conduction, first of all, we will define what do you mean by conduction. Conduction is the mode of transferring of heat, especially in solid, not in liquid, not in gas. The mode of transfer of heat in solid from hotter part to colder part, that is called conduction. The mode of transfer of heat in solids from hotter part to colder part when they are in contact. Okay, that is called conduction. So the explanation for the conduction is, children, you have noticed that whenever you are heating any metallic wire like copper wire, aluminum wire, silver, gold, if you are heating one end, then the end where you are touching after some time also get hot. Okay, and you are not able to hold it. For example, the utensils which your mother is using at the kitchen, whenever the utensils at the one end is heated on the heater or on the gas, then the other end also gets heated. Okay, very soon, very quickly. How this is possible? Because the heat transferring is possible through the conduction here. Actually, what happened, whenever we are heating any metallic substance, the one end of the metallic substance, the molecule of that end absorb the kinetic energy, absorb the heat energy, and start vibrating more vigorously. Okay, very randomly. So whenever they start vibrating, they collide with their neighbor particles, and the neighbor particles, they also transferred some of the heat energy and the kinetic energy. Then the neighbor particle also start vibrating too much, and by this way the particles transfer their heat energy and the kinetic energy to their neighbor particles until the heat energy and the kinetic energy not reach to the last molecule of the last end. Okay, so by this way the heat transfer of heat through conduction takes place only in solid, because solid particles start moving, start vibrating after absorbing the heat energy. So this is all about the explanation. But do you know, children, there are conditions for the conduction to take place? Yes, there are conditions, and there are two conditions for the conduction to take place. Conditions for conduction to takes place, and these are the object should be in direct contact with each other. Direct contact with each other, or there should be difference in temperature between the objects. So yes children, these are the two criteria, two conditions for the conduction to take place. First criteria is the object should be in direct contact with each other, means the object, if the heat is going to transfer from one object to the another object, or from one end of the same object to the other end of the same object, then the object should be in direct contact, means should be in touching with each other, then only the heat transfer will take place. They should be in direct contact. And second is there should be difference between the temperature of the object. Yes, one object should be hotter and one object should be colder, so that the heat transfer can take place from hotter to colder object. So these are the two conditions. This is very very important. Two conditions for the conduction to take place. Now we will start the different topic in conduction, that is the good and poor conductor as well as insulator. Yes children, let's start this topic, good and poor and the insulators. Good and poor conductor of heat and insulators. So as you have already studied this topic in class 6, what do you mean by good conductor of heat? Yes, I know that you are also giving the answer. Those materials which allow the heat to pass through them, they are called good conductor of heat. For example, all metals like aluminium, copper, gold, etc. These all are good conductor of heat. Those substances which allow heat to pass through them are called good conductor. Good conductor. Example, all metals, human body, impure water, etc. These all are very good conductor of heat. That means they are allowing heat to pass through them very easily. Okay, and now comes to the poor conductor of heat. Poor conductor of heat means the material which do not allow the heat to pass through them properly. Means in a very slow rate. They are allowing the heat, but in a very slow rate and not properly. That are called poor conductor of heat. Those materials which allow a little amount of heat, to pass through them slowly are called poor conductors of heat. Here I am only regarding the heat, not the electricity. So don't be confused with that. Heat. For example, water, tap water, or you can also say pure water, glass, air, etc. These all are the poor conductor of heat which are allowing heat but in a very slowly way. The heat is passing through them very slowly way. They does not get heated very quickly because they are poor conductor of heat. And what do you mean by non-conductor of heat? Yes, those materials which do not allow the heat to pass through them at all, they are called non-conductor of heat. Those materials which do not allow heat to pass through them are called non-conductor of heat. And examples are paper, plastic, wood, rubber, etc. They all are the non-conductor of heat because they are not allowing the heat to pass through them. Now comes to insulator. Insulator means those substances which are not allowing heat as well as electricity also. Okay, those substances which do not allow heat as well as electricity to pass through them, they are called insulators. If they are not allowing the heat, they are not regarded as insulator. If they are not allowing the electricity also, then they are regarded as insulators. So 4 number, those materials which do not allow heat as well as electricity to pass through them are called insulators. For example, again wood, plastic, and then rock, etc. These all are insulators. So now let's start the next topic, that is the use of conductors and the non-conductors at our day-to-day life. But before starting that one, I would like to clear one more doubt, that many of the people now these days also they are telling good conductor, they are using the good conductor, but now these days the good conductor is replaced by conductors. Those good conductors which are allowing the heat to pass through them, they are replaced by conductors. We are not telling them good conductors, but we will tell them only conductors. Now start the next topic, that is the use of conductors and insulators in our day-to-day life. So the use of conductors and non-conductors of heat, both are very useful for us in our day-to-day life. For example, in our kitchen, the utensils are made up of conductors. They are made up of metals, either by steel or stainless steel, or different types of copper utensils also we are using. So different types of metals we are using in our kitchen for our day-to-day life. Why they are made up of metals? Yes, of course, you know that answer. Metals are very good conductor of heat, so they cook the food easily and quickly in a less heat. That's why they get heated up very quickly. So that's why conductors, mainly metals, are used for making the utensils. But their handles are made up of either wood or by plastic. Why this is so? Because wood and plastic both are non-conductors of heat. They do not conduct the heat, and that's why we can lift the hot utensil from one place to another place. So both conductors and non-conductors are used in our day-to-day life. Again, one more thing I would like to tell you, that during winter season we are wearing what? Woolen clothes, and woolen clothes have small pores between them, small pores between them. Okay, so these small pores trap the air from the surrounding, and as you already know that air is also poor conductor of heat. It does not allow our body heat to go outside and the outer surrounding coldness or the heat to come inside. Okay, so that's why woolen clothes keeps us warm during winter, and we prefer the woolen clothes during winter. Again, you have seen that in a jute bag the slices of ices are kept. Why? Because jute bags are also having small pores between them, and these pores allow the trap the air, and air is also a poor conductor of heat. It does not allow the inner heat to go out and the outer heat to go inside, and hence maintain the temperature for long time. So that's why jute bags are also used for keeping the ice. So from these examples, I think you better understand that both conductors, non-conductors, insulators, all these are very important in our day-to-day life. So this is all about today's class. I hope you have learned something from this class, and I have also given the notes which you have to write in your chemistry fair copy. So all the best, take care, and have a good day. Thank you.